physiological needs. Just saying those two words sends a chill down the spine. Because there's nothing more democratic, more inevitable, more human, and yet more humiliating. We all go through it. We all end up in awkward situations. And I mean that both figuratively and literally. It always happens the same way. You're next to your boyfriend. Maybe it's romantic. Maybe it's cozy. Maybe you're feeling like you're living inside a movie scene. And then it hits. That urge. The one that doesn't really fit into category number 1 or category number 2. It's number 0. The forbidden one. The unwanted one. The desperate urge that always shows up at the wrong time. And how do you explain it? Without sounding weird, when you suddenly stand up and leave the room, pretending you're on some mysterious mission, when in reality the only mission is finding a corner where your body can be free. Yes, I know. It's gross. But it's also inevitable. Nobody's a marble statue. Nobody's so perfect that they can cheat biology. The body has needs, and we, women, are often trapped in a social dilemma. Do we let go of what needs to be released and risk total embarrassment? Or do we hold it in until our bladder becomes a balloon? Our intestines start a rebellion, and that trapped gas becomes a ticking time bomb. And because shame loves disguises, let's create some codes. From now on, P is number 1. Poop is number 2. Unwanted gases are number 3. 3 tiny codes to name 3 of humanity's biggest social tragedies. Let's start with number 1. The liquid urgency. I have to confess, I've always had trouble holding it. Some people can go hours and hours, pressing their legs together, crossing deserts and marathons of movies without caving in. Not me. Never me. I've missed key movie scenes, important lectures, all because my body doesn't care about social timing. But nothing compares to the most humiliating day of my life. Picture this, my house, full of friends, laughter echoing, everyone having a good time. And of course, there's always one clown in the group, the one who makes you laugh so hard it hurts. And me? Already holding it in, fighting 2 battles at once. Bladder versus laughter. A war inside my body. Until I couldn't anymore. I stood up, discreetly, to grab my bag and head to the bathroom. And then betrayal. A friend sneaks up behind me and gives me a huge scare. And right there, in the middle of the living room, in front of everyone, disaster struck. Number 1 flooded out. Uninvited. Uncontrollable. My face turned scarlet. My friend froze. Some people laughed until they cried. Others looked down in pity. Chaos. Pure chaos. To this day, I thank the universe it happened at my own house. Because if it had been at the mall, or a bar, or God forbid, a stranger's house, I would have changed my name, moved to another country, and started a new life under witness protection. And the truth is, that wasn't the only time. At school, I was branded the P girl. My mom constantly had to bring me clean clothes. Teachers sighed every time I bolted out of class. My bed sheets? I lost count. Until, around age 11, I finally learned to hold it in. Not because I wanted to, but because of maternal pressure. Still, the shame lingered. I avoided sleepovers. One avoided fun groups where laughter was contagious. Number 1 haunted me throughout childhood. Now let's move on to number 2. The solid problem. Unlike P, number 2 doesn't just explode without warning. It whispers. It nags. It builds pressure. It demands time and space. And that's exactly why it's so embarrassing. Because while some people are open about it, even making jokes, others refuse to admit it. Ever. They act like it doesn't exist. They disappear quietly, trying to cover their tracks. even though everyone knows exactly what's happening. I've seen girls on road trips go an entire week without relief, simply because of shame. A week. Can you imagine the pain, the bloating, the torture of holding back something that should be so natural? And then there are men. Oh, men. They treat number 2 like a performance art. They don't hide it. They broadcast it. They have rituals. They invent new expressions. Dropping the kids off at the pool. Painting the porcelain. Sending a fax. They build entire comedic universes around the act. Some even bring magazines or spend hours like they're clocking into a second job. It's like they have an entire vocabulary just for the toilet. And we? We sit in silence, pretending, afraid someone will notice. If you ask me, that's unfair. Maybe that's why I believe diaper duty should officially be a male responsibility. Since they're so shameless, let them deal with the evidence too. That the biggest traitor of them all is number 3. Unwanted gases. Those sneaky assassins. They don't ask. They don't wait. They appear at the worst possible moment. Imagine being at the movie's silent scene. Everyone holding their breath as the hero whispers their last words. And you feel it. You know it's going to make noise. Or worse, you're at someone's house and the family dog starts sniffing, announcing your crime like a 4-legged detective. Or the classic. You think you're alone. Finally decide to free yourself quietly. And at that very moment, someone walks in. And you're left with only 2 options. Pretend it didn't happen, or blame the sofa. I'll never forget a guy who once told me, for me, true intimacy is when my girlfriend feels comfortable farting or burping around me. That's when I know we're really close. My God. Intimacy? That's not intimacy. That's torture disguised as affection. For me, love doesn't mean I need to share my digestive system soundtrack with anyone. And honestly, I pray my husband never lies down next to me and uses number 3 as proof of our bond. If that day comes, I'll pack my bags. Because intimacy, for me, is knowing we don't have to share absolutely everything. Especially not that. The truth is, these needs are universal. No one is abnormal for having them. No one should feel ashamed for stepping away to take care of business. But shame is a sticky thing. It clings to us like perfume gone bad. And I, personally, would rather hold it in until the very last second than risk being remembered as the girl who couldn't. Whether I'm in love, married, or living with my closest friends, I'll always prefer to deal with my body's darkest moments in solitude. Alone, in silence, without witnesses. If you ever see me leaving quietly, don't ask, don't guess. And for the love of everything holy, don't bring it up later. Because here's the luke of it all. The more we try to ignore these needs, the more dramatic they become. The less we talk about them, the heavier the shame grows. And maybe that's why they haunt us. Because everyone does it, and yet no one wants to admit it. So we laugh at others' accidents. We hide our own. We make deals with our bladders, our intestines, our gas bubbles. Please, just not now. Not here. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But the stories remain. And maybe that's the real intimacy. Not sharing the act itself, but confessing the ridiculous situations that came from it. Because when we tell these stories, we take the power back. We laugh at the shame. We own it. So if you've ever been in these situations, if you've laughed too hard and paid the price, if you've pretended to take a shower just to cover up number 2, if you've blamed a piece of furniture for number 3, know this, you're not alone. You're part of a secret sisterhood of women who live, who suffer, who laugh, and who still manage to look elegant in public while dealing with the chaos of biology in private. And since we've opened this door together, don't stop here. Come join me on the channel. Subscribe, leave a like, And share this video with that one friend who would never admit it out loud, but who you know has her own bathroom horror stories. Because the only way to survive life's most embarrassing truths is to laugh at them together.